Good morning. Good morning. It's time for the goddesses to gather. We're going to get together. We're going to talk a little astrology. Definitely talking about the goddess this morning. It's all about the goddess. Happening the feminine power within and without. But first, we dance. Come on in, goddess. Come on in. We dance, we dance, we dance. Morning, goddesses. How are you? I'm going to take this little break. While the music is breaking, I'm going to take it all down, baby. How are you doing? This is Tyrone Milade, your goddess guru, your sister friend. And you know I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. I am all about women tapping the power within and understanding that there is a goddess. Whether you were taught that there was a goddess or not, doesn't matter. And I know the goddess is real because you exist. The divine feminine is everything. Ancient wisdom. You know, I love that we are in a long lineage of people who have created wisdom from time immemorial that we can draw from. We have divination. We have all kinds of healing tools. Ancient wisdom is everything. So, yeah, that's what we are all about here in the pursuit to empower women. And it's to empower women to do whatever you feel like you want to do with your life. I'm not trying to tell you what you need to do. I'm just wanting you to feel good with making choices for yourself. Okay. So I love coming together with you all on Wednesday for the Inspired Goddess Morning Circle. We love to come together because we are a community. And we love to come together and talk and connect and support one another because that is part of women's empowerment. We are like weaker when we're a lone wolf. Are we going to have our lone wolf moments? Yes. There are going to be times when we're more in solitude. We're not so much a part of the group, but a huge part of the health of women, the health of womanhood, and women's relationships come from us being connected. And so we need to tap the power within in terms of feminine energy and power by women coming together. All right. Whether we always get along or not, doesn't matter. We need to figure that out, but we need to stick together as women. Okay. So, yeah, I'm so happy to be here this morning. Part of what we do is we have our morning beverage. I'm drinking out of my Ye My Ya cup this morning. Thank you to the sister who sent this to me. You know who you are. Ye My Ya. Ye Mo Ja. She is the goddess. She's the mother goddess out of the Ifa tradition. Ifa is out of Nigeria. And I'm drinking out of this mug this morning. First of all, just because who wouldn't want to drink out of a Ye My Ya mug? But also, I'm celebrating 18 years of being a priestess. I completed my initiation November 19th, 2006. 18 years. That's amazing, of being a priestess of the sacred feminine mysteries. And that was when I first learned that Ye My Ya was calling me. I wasn't yet initiated into Ifa. And, I had my leges, but I really wasn't told this is the primary Orisha that you'll be working with. Initially, the first reading I ever got, they told me my head was ruled by Oshun and Obatala. However, when it was time for me to initiate, I was told it is Yemonja who is calling you. So In that initiation, hold on, I'm gonna show y'all my hold on one second. I find it. Shoot, I put it up. I thought my veil, we get a veil, the veil that covered me at my initiation, it had blue on it. The lady who made the veils put a certain whatever the color was for me, it was specific to me. We didn't all have the same veil. And my veil, I'll find it and take a picture and post it, but my veil has blue on it. And I thought, "Yay mon ja?" And sure enough, when that was 2006, I started initiating into the Ifa Risha tradition in 2008. And that's when I was told it was Yemonja. So, she was letting me know all along. I was born on the sign of Pisces. I think that's pretty Yemonja. Mm. So make sure you get your water out. Let's see who's here. Oh my goodness. The goddesses are here. Wealth Rising, Keita May. How are you, Queen? Hey, hey, hey. How are you, beautiful, powerful love, Barbara? Hi, still learning. Welcome. Woohoo. Azizi is in the house. Hello, Queen Azizi. Yes. Hello to the G Hive. Welcome, Mystic Storm. So happy you are here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel so blessed. Let's see here. I have an initiation that I take women through, at least one. There's others coming. So we have Keita May, Beautiful, Powerful Love, Azizi, Mystic Storm. They all are initiated into what are called the sacred spiritual aspirant initiation, which is connected to this goddess tradition that I'm a part of. So it's just so amazing to see you all there. Yes, Omiyo, yeah, my yeah. What are you drinking? Yes, Azizi is drinking hot chocolate. I'm sure you need it this morning. Oh, in your Yemaya mug, actually, Azizi um, is a part of what do I want to call it? I don't want to say my elay because I don't have an elay, but Azizi went through, got her elecase with me also. So I'm thinking, oh, that's right, she's Yemoja too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank y'all so much because most people have no idea what this is. And so, yeah, what can I say? It touches me that I'm able to share that with you all. Morgan is drinking mint green tea. That sounds delicious, Morgan. So I just wanted to let you all know also, y'all will be hearing me talk about this. Love you too, Azizi. Uh, Hold on one second. I'm gonna do this that way. It's all clean. Ooh, okay. That I have started this my membership up again. I keep starting and stopping the membership. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That YouTube membership, they kept 1/3 of the money. 1/3. And I was working hard in that membership. But I was just like, YouTube, you're not taking my money no more. Some people just make content. They don't really do anything extra. I was working hard for that membership. So my Soul Alchemy Circle membership, it's inside of my Mighty Networks. And so I like this too because it has that community piece. And I'll start putting in the first one that's going to go in this week is going to be the Mercury retrograde because that's coming up on the 25th. And then we're going to have the Mars retrograde. We already have Jupiter retrograde. I think I might already have that one together. And I'll just have to go find it and put it back in here. Jupiter retrograde. And then, yeah. And then the new moon in Sagittarius is coming up. I will put in something special for that. For sure, the Through the Signs video. So I would invite you all to join me. It's only $9.99. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So what I want to do is I want to just do a little, I want it to be more flowy and, in our bodies and spiritual. We might get in our heads a little bit, but I want us to just do a little bit of spiritual work. Um, we got to get back to making sure we're all shored up and feeling good and supported during this time. So, what I want to ask you to do first and foremost is if you have some oil, let's just go on ahead and anoint ourselves. We're going to anoint ourselves first. I'm using my Yemaya oil. I have Yemaya oil. I ordered it off of Etsy one time. I'm actually going to mix it with my masculine Orisha, Shango. It's interesting how you can get a reading in Ifa and be told, at one point, is this Orisha or that Orisha? Because Oshun and Obatala made sense to me, but then it becomes something else when it's time to initiate. I love the oil anointing. This is also an ancient tradition. Anointing yourselves with oil. It helps with shifting your energy, bringing in healing. And it's kind of like, what energy are you wanting to raise up in you, right? So you just want to anoint yourself. Anoint yourself with oil. There's one more oil I always anoint myself with. I just love this oil so much. So we are anointing ourselves. And I want y'all to anoint yourself as much as possible throughout your week, okay? The oils can connect you even to, your deities. Like I just anointed myself with oils that are connected to my deities, if that's what you need. We are not powerless. We have so many tools that can support us when we feel down and out. It's just so important for us to turn to our spiritual practice. And y'all know that's what the spiritual aspirant initiation is all about. It's all about helping women tap into and tune into your inner goddess, but also to help you stay that way by creating that spiritual practice. And so this oil anointing is one thing you can do. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to light a candle. So if you can light a candle, I know some people might be at work, light your candle. It's always good to bring fire in. For me, candles are just like life. It's like I just need a candle. They soothe me. So we're lighting a candle. We'll be supported by our ancestors and just the energy of light. One of the readings that I did this week was all about remembering that you are the light, that you have a special light within you, and you want to be centered within that light at all times. And so, if you would just take a few deep breaths, take a deep breath in through your nose, long exhale through your mouth. Take another deep breath in, inhale, and exhale. Just feel yourself feeling more grounded in your seat. Just allowing yourself to be in this now moment. Remembering that we only ever have this now moment. And so it is the most precious moment. And it's the moment that has the most access to our power. We feel most powerful in the now moment. So just feeling into this now moment, maybe noticing your breath. What does it feel like to breathe? It seems so simple, but tuning into your breath. Breath is life. We sometimes even take it for granted. So when we take time to think about, I have breath in my body, what a gift. And that taps us into the power within in this moment also. And we just want to take a moment to call in our ancestors of light, especially our ancestral mothers. We call in the ancient mothers of the North, the South, the East, and the West. We call in our spiritual guides, teachers, gurus, Just all the energies that will come in to support us women today. We call in the energy of Herakahuti Ogun, the warrior. Please stand at the door and guard it as we women work our magic. Stand at that virtual door. Keep anyone who means us no good out and allow every woman who wants to come in and be a part of what we're doing here. Let her in, but keep all other negative energies out. Thank you, Herakahuti Ogun. All of our masculine energies of light, we're asking you to stand at that door with Herakahuti Ogun again. And may the only thing that happened for us today be for our highest and our greatest good. And we say, Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Ashe is just a way of co-signing. It's almost like saying amen, but that's what we say in the Ifa tradition. So I would love to hear from you all. We're going to stitch in. What are you stitching in with today? What are you stitching in with today? I guess I could put that on here. Let me see if I can find a place. Ah, here you. I already created it. Thank you, past Tyra. Write your name and what you're stitching in with. I am your name, and I am bringing. So I am Tyra, and I am bringing the goddess. What are you goddesses stitching in with? Might just put on a little. Love it. Yeah, what are you stitching in with today, goddesses? Just take a moment. Even if you're watching the replay, what are you stitching in with? All right, Azizi, stitching in with empowerment. Morgan, stitching in with clarity. Love it. I am Barbara, and I am bringing in perimenopause fatigue and determination. Oh, yeah, perimenopause, babe. But ain't no joke. I love that Barbara knows you can do this. If you don't feel 100, you can stitch in with something, whatever your truth is. That's what I want you to stitch in with. So thank you for being an example of that, Barbara. Yeah. Okay. So I think what I want to start up. Thank you for stitching in, ladies. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So I think what we're gonna do right now is I want to take us through a mindfulness practice. So yeah, I thought, you know what? Good mindfulness practice would be nice right now. Let's see here. Who else? I'm Keita May, and I'm stitching in with gratitude. Love it. I am TJ, and I'm stitching in with protection for all women. My former caregiver recently lost custody of her daughter, and I'm resolved to send strong good vibes for her. And we are too, TJ. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Yeah. And we'll do this self-compassion. It's a self-compassion practice. We're going to do that in her honor, okay? So let's see here. One moment. I just like to put it up when I am, because sometimes people come on and they're like, what's going on? Why is she so quiet? Okay, so let's do a breathing self-compassion practice. And so this one is all about combining awareness of the breath with compassion for yourself. Having compassion is one of the best things that we can do for ourselves. There is nothing, nothing like self compassion. Okay. So, as we breathe and start settling down into our seats, if you would do that, I know some of y'all may be working, so you can just feel yourself relaxing as you work. But if you can stop, going ahead and allow your eyes to close or lower your gaze. And I want you to open yourself up to self love. Just be willing. You don't have to fully be there if you're not there. We do this practice in honor of the caregiver who has lost their child, lost custody of their child. We do this in their honor, both of them. Just continue to take some deep breaths in through your nose, long, slow, deep breath out through your mouth, and just ground your attention into the surface beneath you. It could be a chair, maybe you're on the bed. And what I want you to notice is that you are supported already. You are supported. I want you to just sense the energy of the entire space supporting you. Noticing what you're sitting or standing on, that's supporting you. Also, the air all around you is supporting you. And as you continue to take your deep breaths in through your nose, long, slow, deep breath out through your mouth, you want to feel yourself soften with each breath. Feel yourself soften more and more. You could even allow your mind to imagine ripples of relaxation, softness, rippling down from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes, softening, softening. You can relax the base of your tongue and lower your shoulders, drop your shoulders, let them relax. Knowing that each breath you take supports the body. So each breath is like an act of love. And I invite you to breathe with this awareness, letting each breath be an offering of love to your body. And as you inhale, feel a sense of love, compassion, and kindness growing inside of you. And let each exhale help to soften your thinking mind and any tension you might be holding. We do all of this with curiosity, non judgment. Each breath fills you with love and awakens the energy of self compassion. What is self compassion? It is having care and concern for yourself. It's offering yourself grace and gentleness. And as you continue to breathe now, you might repeat, I love myself with each breath that I take. Just in your mind, You can just say this inside of yourself. I love myself with each breath I take. I love myself with each breath I take. And just continue to sense into the energy of compassion that fills you. It fills you from the inside and from the outside. Just staying here a little while longer. You may notice your mind wanders away. Just return your attention and your focus to the flow of your loving breath. Again, you might say, I love myself with each breath I take. Again, if your mind wanders, just bring your awareness to your breath. Notice the inhale and the exhale. Again, bringing in that care and concern for your mind and anything that may float in and out. I love myself with each breath I take. Remembering that beating yourself up and allowing your inner critic to just run loose and unchecked is not going to necessarily get yourself the results that you want always. Having care and concern for yourself, that's your superpower. Granting yourself grace is one of the most radical acts you can do. Being gentle with yourself is one of the most revolutionary things you can do. And this practice of taking deep breaths in and out as acts of self-love serves as that reminder. We talk about Yemaja, the mother goddess. One of her words, one of her key words is relax. And there's nothing like taking some deep breaths in and allowing yourself to relax. That brings healing to the body and allows you to be open and receptive to receiving the solution, the support, the healing that you desire. So relaxing into that breath of self-love, relaxing into self-compassion. That is one of your chief power tools. And so now releasing any words from your mind, just breathing naturally. Notice what you're sitting on again. Bring your awareness to how that feels. Begin to reconnect to your physical body by welcoming some light movement, maybe gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes, letting loving breaths continue to support you throughout your day. So I hope that that has you feeling better. It definitely has me feeling better. Wow. And then I smell the oil that I just put on. Like, oh, this is why I love the goddess, the feminine energy. You are so welcome, TJ. Greetings, Grand Rising. Yes, you're out there on that West Coast, just waking up. Welcome, Minister Ocean Kimmy. Yes, compassion for the self is compassion for all. That's right. You're so welcome. You are so, so welcome. My honor, my honor, my honor. Did I not have the mindfulness banner up? I thought I did. Okay, so I think the next thing that I want to do is, my dear sister, Deborah Marie, did a reading for me. And well, it was a human design. And she said, what are you not saying that you should be saying? That you know you should be saying, or something like that. What are you holding back on talking about? And so in that energy, I've been working and moving in that direction. And so today we're going to focus on some things that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. We eventually are going to do a reading too, don't get me wrong. But I decided to pull out this book called The Living Goddess. And my position right now is that my mission is to remind everybody that there is a goddess, and I want to draw from her wisdom. I was listening to something today on Stoicism, and I was like, oh, this is so good. One of my sons told me, hey, check out Stoicism. And so I was like, sometimes Stoicism is nice. And then I was like, but white men. And I'm not dogging out all white men, but it's like, no, I want to be under the study of women, and I want to be drawing on wisdom of the goddess, because this is an ancient tradition that we need to get back to. And so I thought, let me pull this book out. It was very pivotal because I want to just begin to lay the foundation for all of us who are doing this work. Actually, it's not even just about what I'm sharing. It's more about how do we create it in a way where it's like we know where to go if we want to look into the goddess tradition. And there are a lot that are already there, but for me as a Black woman, I need a tradition that it doesn't have to be every goddess is Black. As y'all can see, this is the Indian tradition here. But I just need one that I know is steeped in my consciousness. So this is my way of sharing the goddess and what I know about the goddess. I draw on all traditions, but that's what I want to do. And so I want to just talk a little bit about Shakti and this energy of the goddess. I'm just going to read a few notes that I highlighted probably 18 years ago. But I didn't even remember some of what I highlighted here. It's just like, wow, thank you, past Tyra. This is why you never give up. This is why you just continue. Everything that you do today matters to your future self. Because my past Tyra read this book. I got something for y'all today. So I want to just read this to you all. It says that the Hindu goddess tradition is called Shaktism. It's like Shaktiism, I guess you could say. The goddess devotees are called Shaktas. And Shakti means the primordial, universal consciousness or energy, which birthed the cosmos out of its limitless being and lovingly attends to the needs of each of its creatures. Therefore, it is conceived of a feminine force. So let your consciousness as feminine beings wrap around that. Okay? And I do want to just insert that Olodumare is not a masculine deity. We have to understand this is one of the reasons why I'm so adamant about the goddess tradition, because patriarchy and the colonization has brought in some stuff that is even turning, some traditions that are both masculine and feminine, which is how I see Ifa, into where it's just masculine dominated. And I just refuse. So Olodumare is female. Olodumare is female. Therefore, all of physical reality is conceived as a feminine force. Shaktas say that when we call the matrix of being a goddess, we have only begun to describe its infinite divine qualities, not that we have made some kind of final defining statement. The mother of the universe is more than female. Her living being extends beyond the furthest reach of human imagination, beyond any limiting conception we put on her. And maybe that's why a lot of times I'll say the great mother, the universe is like, there's so much more. And I'm hoping that this is helping you to like touch your consciousness to help you to realize, first of all, you are a reflection of Shakti. You're a reflection of this great mother goddess. And so all of this potential lies within you. Um, Maybe not at the same magnitude as, this infinite being, but it does lie within you. And so the question is, what are the implications if you know that you're a reflection of this great mother goddess who birthed the cosmos out of its limitless being and lovingly attends to the needs of each of its creatures? If you're a reflection of this energy, when you think about the things in your life that maybe don't feel right, they're off or whatever, how differently can understanding this about who you represent, how differently does this help you show up in your life? Okay. Let's see here. I just want to read about who is the goddess, because a lot of times we talk about the great mother, but then sometimes it's kind of like, do we even really know? So let's see what the Shaktas say. In Shaktism, God is the silent, unmoving one. That's Shiva, a moving one over whose prostrate body the goddess rampages. Shakti is dynamic, self-willed energy. And this one was a little bit challenging for me. Sometimes I'm like, the feminine energy seems more receptive. But you can see here, Shakti is dynamic, self-willed energy. The goddess is the primordial, unchanging, universal awareness which enjoys the swirling movements of her beloved, whose dance of creation and destruction begins and ends world systems. God and goddess interchange passive and active roles like lovers, unrestricted by human definitions. So there was something else that I saw that I wanted to read to you. I should have ticked what I wanted. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there. That way I'll get my thoughts more organized next week to share a little bit about the goddess, more about from that book with you all. But I just want to start making sure that we are steeping ourselves in spirituality and that we are opening ourselves to this beautiful goddess energy on a deeper level. I hope that y'all enjoyed that. This is why I don't like talking like this, because I'm like, is this landing? Do people care? But I'm gonna ahead and move forward with what I want to really share. So what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna pull do a reading, and then there's something else I want to start talking to you all about also. I really want us to be focusing on building up our manifestation in muscle. I want us to be working on staying in our power. And so, yeah, I have something for us around that. Okay. So the first card, let me put this up because it helps me. Okay, thank you. I get nervous. It's like, oh, I don't all the time do the popular thing. And I know y'all aren't here for the popular thing, but the pressure feels on sometimes. Okay, so thank you for saying that, Morgan. Okay, so I have here, I love this. This is so good. Realization. Realization. It's a wind card. And I'm going to tell y'all why I love this so much, because y'all know that in my goddess framework, the first, well, it's not like they're numbered, but for me, it all starts with awareness. Like, we have to step into awareness in order to step into realization, right? This realization is just so, so important. So, opening ourselves up, realizing who we truly are, realizing, uh, higher wisdom is so important for us. It really is. So, this is Astara, the goddess of starlit skies, who brings powerful and immediate realization of the illumined mind. She is the mental breakthrough into conscious understanding. The realization of a star that she brings can be mind-blowing. This is exciting. What are you going to realize this month? Or this week? What do you need to realize? Or you can take this card with you for as long as you need it. Her halo radiates heavenly wisdom and understanding, bringing enlightenment of the mind through comet-like bursts of ideas and visions. Open to her immediate gifts of power and blessing for razor-sharp mental clarity. Astara is bringing you the cosmic light of realization when you need it the most. That sounds like Shakti, what I read about Shakti this morning. Let her gifts pierce through stagnant attitudes and beliefs to activate your cellular memory and stellar vision. So I want you to just take a moment right now to think about your stagnant attitudes, your stagnant beliefs. I know I got some that I'm working on. And so you want to put them on the goddess altar within your mind. I always say that we are our own goddess temple. And so within that goddess temple in your mind, there is an altar. And I want you to put where you're stagnant, where you are in limiting beliefs, put that on that altar. Because what you want to do is let her gifts pierce through those stagnant attitudes and beliefs to activate your cellular memory and stellar vision. Open to her realization and then act upon your new understanding. I'm wondering, has anyone had a realization, or what are you looking for realization around? One of the things that I teach is that we're here to realize ourselves. We're here to do self-realization, realize the truth about yourself, master yourself. And so this might be a time where we're going to be stepping more deeply into this energy of self-realization. One of the ways that I like to say it is, sister, do you really know who you are? And if you do, are you operating from that greatness? But sometimes we just have to, we got to take baby steps. We've got to take baby steps. Okay. Tell me any thoughts that are coming to you all. If you're just receiving it, that is fine. So, before I move on to the next one, I'm going to do readings between me sharing from these books. And maybe I will go back to the other book that we were looking at, A Happy Pocket Full of Money, but because then I can share it. But I want to this book right here, Dissolve the Problem. Dissolve the Problem. It is one of my most favorite books. You could just read this book, and to me, just reading it creates a shift. Okay. But I want you to be thinking about what needs to be dissolved in your life. What problem needs to be dissolved? And maybe it's something around, an inner healing that needs to take place. But I want to just read a little bit from this book also. And again, I'm just going to the little places that I have marked. It says, since every problem can be ultimately solved using spiritual means, then there are no unsolvable problems to speak of. Since there are no permanently unsolvable problems in this world, then there really is no problem to begin with. I wonder what y'all think about that. Are there no problems? Is that how you see it? Everything is merely temporary and a mere inconvenience. Everything in our physical reality can be easily replaced by something else. And when I looked at that this morning, I thought to myself, this is true. We just need to practice it and sell ourselves on it. And one of the things that I like to remind myself of is when I see a problem, how it looks is dictated on, or when I see something that needs to be solved or handled or it's showing up, and it's kind of like, oh, whoa, I'm being called to do something. First thing that we want to ask is, or ask ourselves is, when I see it as a problem, how does it feel? And how do I feel on the inside? Am I able to actually tap into our inner power? Because that's what we are all about here at Goddess Body Mind Spirit, is making sure you feel tapped into your inner power. And so when you see it as a problem, now that same situation, and I want you to bring something up in your mind. Hello, Natasha, and I'm going to check your comment out in a moment, Azizi. When you take that same situation and instead say to yourself, this is a challenge. I want you to notice how differently it feels seeing it as a challenge. Nothing has changed. The circumstances are the same, but the way you're looking at it is now as a challenge. How differently does it feel? And then when we are seeing something as an opportunity, if you decide, I just want to see this as an opportunity, circumstances are the same, but you're looking at it as an opportunity. How differently does it feel in your body? This is why women taking care of their bodies and learning that the emotions that you feel in your body are so, so good, because the body is our chief oracle as women, our chief oracle. And so when you can look at a thing in different ways and you feel different in your body, it automatically helps you to see why everything in our physical reality can be replaced with something else. There's no permanently unsolvable problems in the world. No problems to begin with, merely temporary, mere inconveniences. And that is because the entire experience that we're having, it all is based on what's happening on the inside. And sometimes what we have to do on the inside is we have to get ourselves healed up because we have stored trauma. And trauma is, a lot of times, I wasn't able to protect myself. There was something that happened, and I wasn't able to resolve the impact of whatever happened. Nothing was done in that moment. And so it's kind of like the pause button has been put on it, and it's just there, and it operates like a little software. So some of us have some software that needs to be replacing. I would imagine all of us do. The growth that we have to do is all connected to, it's something that we'll do forever, right? So yeah, sometimes we have to resolve that trauma. But even if all the trauma isn't resolved, that doesn't mean that you can't begin to take that time to work with this goddess Astara and really allow ourselves to be like, no, this is how I'm going to allow myself to focus in my mind and my body and my emotions and my consciousness. That's what I see a star is about the most. It's not so much the thinking mind as it is the consciousness that dwells within us, which is the Ori. The Ori is the higher self. That's what a lot of people call that energy. It's the higher self. And a lot of us aren't even connected to the Ori in a conscious way. It's helping us because if you can breathe, if your organs are just working, then that Ori is there. Okay. So we have this infinite wisdom that lies within us, and we're not fully connected to it. But that's what we want to do. We want to stay so connected to that inner Ori that even if there's unresolved trauma, that doesn't mean that we can't begin to move ourselves in that direction of being able to make a choice about how we're going to see a thing. You know, it's like I know my inner trauma is coming up in here trying to tell me what to think about this thing. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to see this as an opportunity. That's just how we're going to do it up in here. I love that saying. It's something like you don't have to believe every thought that shows up in your mind. You really don't. But the other piece to it is we do have to honor that people are dealing with trauma. And so sometimes you just have to inform people of that so that they know, oh, that's the inner trauma. Okay, you upset right now. You scared. Got you, right? Let me thank you, Azizi. Receive this message from my Oba sis also, who I am. That's right. Suggested I do some mirror work this week. Oh, I love that. Yes, mirror work. Good morning. Buenos dias. How are you, Paulette? So happy to see you. Minister Ocean Kimmy, sometimes you think it's resolved and the situation happens and boom. And, that is just life, isn't it? It's just what's going to happen. And that's why we have our spiritual practices, because that practice, what does practice do? It brings in perfection. Not that I am perfect, not that every situation is perfect, but it brings in the perfection of when something happens. I'm now more used to when the boom happens. Oh, okay, the boom happened. I feel all off. And it's like this muscle memory. You want to create spiritual muscle memory where it's like I immediately go into tapping. I immediately go into tapping, or I immediately put my hand on my heart and breathe. Go stand by the water. Immediately, boom, gonna go stand by the water. Whatever it is that you have in your spiritual practice, this is why we do it day in and day out. Because I tell you, when you don't feel like you have anything else and nobody else, that spiritual practice is a best friend. It will always be there for you. But it also just makes life feel more comfortable. May not all the time be easy, but it does feel more comfortable. So thank you for saying that. Gracious greetings to you, Kiki. Good to see you. Yes, you just keep working on it until your perception changes. And that is because the subconscious mind, the brain in general, is what I hear people say, lazy. It doesn't want to have to be thinking all the time. It wants to get in a routine, even if the routine is something that feels like it's tearing you apart. Sometimes this is why we wonder, why do people stay in such challenging situations? It's easy. It's familiar. And to move and to do something new, the brain is like, or the subconscious mind is like, oh, we got to do something different. No, it's like, no, we're going in this direction. And the subconscious mind is like, no. And then it's like, no, we're going in this direction. But then the subconscious mind is corrects not all the way back. We go in this direction. And then until it just stops correcting back. And now this is the new normal. This is just how it is. And the spiritual practice can never, ever really go away. It really can't. I I have not been able to let go of my spiritual practice. I've done it in the past, and I always come back to it because life feels harder when I don't cultivate my spiritual practices, when I don't take that time to go within and offer myself that love and that compassion. When I don't take that time to talk to the great mother goddess and to the ancestors and, get messages from them, life is harder. So, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so next card that I'm going to pull is, I guess I should take the oracle reading down when I'm not doing it. Oh, interesting, nurturance. Nurturance. I just pulled that right here on the live stream. So it's interesting that this card has come up. So this card represents Sun in Virgo. And it says, this earth mama tends her garden with loving attention, skillfully nurturing the flowers in her care. Her responsible stewardship is a labor of love, bringing abundant reward and beauty in return. That's essentially what we were just talking about. You just have to keep at it. You will be rewarded. You will have beauty. It says, this sweet image illustrates the ease and joy in nurturing the earth's creation. Through self respect and the respect of life, it is easy to revere and care for all of life's creatures. Continue to let your heart be filled with love for yourself and others, nurturing your budding creations into beautiful, right manifestation in the world. And one of the things that I think is important is that you continue to do that. I said, this is my opportunity to test the universe that I am making a decision about how my life is going to happen. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world outside of me. It feels a little bit scary because I feel like this collective that I'm a part of right now is just, it's a lot. It's a lot. Knowing that it's always a lot. But it just feels so imminent for me. It feels like, yeah, very serious. And I just said to myself, I want to believe that I can continue to dream and have hopes and visions for my life. And that's just what I'm going to open myself up to is, I want to share my teachings. I want to take women through initiations, all of that. And I'm just going to live a life that's my expectation for my life. So, or whatever it is, maybe you're wanting a relationship or, um, you know, you want to travel the world. What is it that you would like to manifest? I want you to how did she say it? Continue to let your heart be filled with love for yourself and others, nurturing your budding creations into beautiful right manifestation into the world. I want y'all to be thinking that way. Who's with me? Let me see here. I think I'm going to just change this right here. I'll just type this in here. I don't know if this is going to be the proper terminology, but that's what I'm going to call it. Book club, book club. Okay. Oh, let me see. I think I saw some comments here. It finally clicked for me when I was homeless the third time. I realized that the only way I was going to fend for myself was if I tethered myself to God, goddess, avatars, all of nature, and source. I appreciate you saying that so, so much. Still learning, TJ. I really do appreciate you saying that because, um, well, first of all, thank you for your testimony. And one of the things that I thought about this week was The faith of Harriet Tubman. Now, I wasn't there, but I'll tell you what the stories say. She said she wanted to be free. She couldn't even depend on her brother. He got so scared that he went back. Her husband, who was not enslaved, was going to tell on her. So she couldn't talk to him, and he was not going to be any help with her getting free. She just said, I just asked God, show me the way. And God told this Black woman who had epilepsy, couldn't read, by herself, how to get to freedom. And if that ain't a sign that there is a higher power, I don't know what is. It could be there's some deep wisdom within us, some deep knowing. If there's some people who struggle with understanding a higher power, but there is a deep something, infinite intelligence that we have access to. And TJ has helped us to understand 3 times she was homeless. And then God helped. She tethered herself to God, goddess, avatars, all of nature's source. And that is how she got back into being in a housed situation. Went from unhoused to housed. It works. It works. Yes, life is harder without your daily spiritual practice. It is harder, much harder. And so y'all not just hearing it from me, you know, it's all you need is proof. Just leave it and come back. Just keep leaving it and come back. Yeah. The hardest thing is being unaware too. Yes. I've been seeing tons of these lately. Bounty gatherers, earth goddesses. Yeah. Yeah. This earth energy, I think, is going to become more prominent because first of all, we always got the earth. If you don't have access to the earth, that means you're not here. So we always have access. It's one of the reasons I love the Orisha tradition out of Nigeria. When I don't have nothing else, when I don't have nobody else, and I always have somebody, but speaking kind of like being dramatic, when I don't have nothing and nobody else, we got the Orisha, the forces of nature. So it's just so important. Yes. Yes. Harriet Tubman is proof. We all have our moments in our days. It's just what it means to be human. Okay, so let's read a little bit more from this book. If you came on late, it's called Dissolve the Problem. It says, I did read this one too. It says, how else do you think Einstein came up with all these life-changing discoveries? By deliberately attuning himself to a higher level of consciousness that was beyond the prevailing level of consciousness of mankind at that time, Einstein put himself in a position to receive and perceive higher truths. For me, that needs to be done through some deeper studies and getting quiet. Oh my gosh, nothing will do it for you like getting out into nature. But honestly, it just is circling back as we do in the goddess tradition. We use a lot of circles to where is your consciousness now and what's a new place that you can take it. And so it's one of the reasons that it's so important for us to study spiritual teachings, to do readings, to get readings, to listen to things like astrology and numerology. We're in the season when we're not there yet, are we? I don't think we're there yet. We're almost there. Hold on. Sagittarius. When is Sagittarius? Oh, I think it starts. Is it the 22nd? I get confused. Some months it's the 21st. Some months it's the 22nd. I think it's the 22nd is when Sag season starts because the sun is there, but Mercury is there. And let's see here. This is July 2024. Y'all are probably telling me in the comments already. Okay, it is the 21st. So Mercury is there, and um it is in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is this energy about growth and expansion. And that's so important. It's important that even when we don't have a lot of power, we can turn on something that helps us to expand. That's really what this is about. Sometimes it might feel like I want to know all this deeper wisdom, but honestly, the deepest wisdom you can know is what lies within you. We call that the heroine's journey. You want to make that descent into you because you've got to remember you are the goddess incarnate. Each one of us is. You have that womb, and within that womb lies all of the mysteries of the universe. That's why we call them the sacred feminine mysteries. They all lie within you, and that is why the spiritual practice and doing that inner self work is so important. Yes, we can go on all these spiritual excursions and it's like all these deeper experiences that people are looking because we know something there is deeper, but ultimately you don't need to do any of that. All you need to do is just do your own practice. Take care of your own self, learn more about yourself. Take a sandbag. I look at trauma as a sandbag, at least in this example. I want you to be working on taking that sandbag and throwing it off so that you can be lighter and more open to understanding something new. Because I can tell you this I know. The higher wisdom of the universe does not reveal itself to somebody who is not doing the work, who is not ready. And, sometimes the wisdom is right there in our face and we can't see it. How many times have it's been like, how did I not see this before now? It's just we weren't there. We weren't at that level of consciousness where we could actually see it for what it really was or is, right? And so if we want the deeper mysteries, they come to us as we understand the mysteries within ourselves. I like to make sure everybody understands that you are not some minuscule, lesser, human. No, you are powerful. You have so much potential and power that lies within you, but it's only going to be tapped and used and, flow out into the world if you make it happen. And when you do that, you are rewarded, maybe not rewarded. You do have access. You gain access to maybe deeper mysteries that you have to be at a certain level of openness to receive, right? So, let's see here. I was getting on myself. I'm glad you bring this up about not doing daily spiritual practice. Spirit whispered, "You are learning, experiencing that you are better when you do your practice. Be gentle with yourself. Start." Yeah, I think that people get mental blocks around the spiritual practice because we think spirituality feels a certain way, or we supposed to look a certain way. But to me, my spiritual practices are not very different from me brushing my teeth and taking a shower, making up my bed, washing dishes. And those actually could be spiritual practices. It's like, okay, let's just be mindful. I'm going to take my shower and I'm giving gratitude for all the water that is coming out. A lot of times we don't we're not even noticing just foundational things because we're so used to them. And I love that we have we're just in that situation where life is that good. I'll say it that way. And by the same token, we have to go out of our way to be like, wow, water just coming through this shower for me to take a shower and it's relatively clean. I know y'all, I know. I'm one of the biggest proponents of we need to do something about the environment, but it's relatively clean compared. I went to Mexico and got sick because I used some of the water. And I'm not saying everybody down in Mexico can't drink the water, but when I went down there, I couldn't just use the water in Mexico. I really had to. It was like, where's a bottle of water? I'm like, I gotta use bottled water for everything, to brush my teeth and everything, right? But even there, I could take a shower, the water would just come through. Ooh, and it was hot. That could be a spiritual practice. But for me, my spiritual practices are not like, oh, I just got to create this environment and it's got to be a certain way. Nope. I get up, I might be grumpy, and it's like, I bless the spirit in my head. I bless the spirit in my head. I bless my head. Omi tutu, ili tutu, ono tutu, tutu eshu. I do my libations. I pour my libations. Got my prayers to the goddess, to the great mother goddess, to Yemunja. And then I have this special prayer that I say. And I go about my day. That's it. I might be done in 15 minutes. Then there are the ones where it's like, okay, at night, I'm making sure I might have one eye open because I work so much sometimes, or I'm just wasting time. I'm going to eke out some gratitude in the morning. I do struggle with journaling right now, but I'm going to get up. Sometimes I might journal on my phone. It's like, I'm a journal. Doesn't have to be anything special. And I think that's where some of us feel resistant to that practice. The other thing that we want to begin to ask ourselves is, what benefit am I getting from not doing my spiritual practice? Because maybe there's something you don't want to give up. And I'm not just talking to Azizi, I'm talking to anybody. There may be something you don't want to give up. And doing that spiritual practice, you're going to have to give that thing up. And the best thing you can do is just be honest with yourself about it and just be like, I can do my spiritual practice and not give this thing up for right now. Just be honest with yourself. Do the spiritual practice and just make the agreement. Maybe I give it up. Maybe I don't. But don't beat up on yourself. Definitely don't beat up on yourself. You see, I hadn't even read Still Learning's. I hadn't even read it. She's saying the same thing as me. I was hesitant to bring this up, but I've been studying quantum mechanics and high level physics like Schrodinger's equations and stuff. It's amazing how much the law of attraction and the laws of physics are quite similar. I love quantum mechanics and quantum physics. I think people don't know or realize it's a lot based on it, that a lot more than we realize based on that. So good for you. Mhm. Now I like this. I love this. My cup of Shango is a grounding ritual, and I get my focus for the day. It doesn't take much. Mindfulness. Yeah, mindfulness. And the coffee is the ancestors' mama for speedy manifestations and help too. I love that. Yes. That's beautiful. We talked during this time. Mm. As long as I can smoke my cigars and watch football, I'm good. I just believe we came here to enjoy life. So, yeah. Aren't you about to lie, Azizi? I'm like, I don't care what nobody say. She got some Shago mixed up in there. Seems like you're Yemaya Obatala, I'm Yemaja Shago, but I swear for Jesus, you Shago too. I need to refine my practices for this goddess on the go. Yeah. I think it's so important to, I just really think it's important for us to get the practices in however we can. And when it's time for us to do them in a different way, we will do them in a different way. It'll just feel like a natural flow. But if that practice it feels too much, you're going to skip it. or if it just doesn't make sense. And that's one of the reasons, all of y'all who initiated with me know I'm all about you got to create your own spiritual practice, right? You got to create your own spiritual practice. Um, and then, you just get it done. That's how I see it. Okay, let's do our last card for this oracle. This is the love card. I find this interesting. I was just kind of like, what is this about? So maybe somebody in here needs this. So let's just see what we get from it based on today's reading, or yeah, just all that we've been sharing. Oh, it's number 2, Tyra. First of all, it's a water card. It has to do with the sign of Cancer. It's Venus in Cancer. And it says 2 dolphins play and dance in the water of love, representing intimate relationship on all levels. We did do the self-love meditation earlier, or mindfulness practice earlier. 2 waterfalls flow into one, just as individuality forms the strong basis of true union. Merging into oneness comes as the isolated ego is surrendered into the ocean of love. So, what part of your ego needs to be surrendered into the ocean of love? And how does that even look? How does it look to have the ego surrendered into the ocean of love? Love is who you are, and it's all around you to experience. Open your heart fully to the relationship you deserve. So maybe somebody needed to hear that today. I want to say this is not just for love relationships. I don't think people understand how much people struggle with friendships. I don't think people know how many people struggle with friendships. So, but this ego surrendering to love. So, the practice that we did earlier was inhale and exhale, and that breath being a reflection of self love, or that we are loved. And so that's the practice that I want to encourage you all to do. So here's another practice. As you walk around, maybe set a timer. If you won't remember easily, set a timer just to remind yourself. Take a moment to see your breath as an act of love. Man, that just feels good thinking about it. Okay, I see you, universe. I see you, great mother. I see you. Still learning is jealous. Yemaya Obatala. Had Shango connection in Brazil before I learned about Orisha. Okay. Yeah, you got a lot going on with you. You got a lot going on. With you and them cigars, girl. I'm like, is this easy really? Obatala. Okay, let's see here. Um, I did say I wanted to read a quote, but I don't know if I kept that quote. This is from my book, The Sacred Power of the Goddess. Ah, crap. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Hold on, y'all. Mhm. You can find it on Amazon, like Kindle books. Where is it? Cause I know when I find it, it'll be me and it'll be to the beginning. Eartha Kitt. Here we go. So again, for my book, I'm so proud of myself. It's a quote book. I haven't written much. So my quote is this: there is beauty even in the tragedies of human experience. You just have to look for it or trust it's there. Free yourself from worrying about that which you have no control over. And I will say the Stoic video that I looked at today, that really stood out. The gentleman was talking about when one of the Stoic practices is just being in charge of what you have control over. And that is what you focus on no matter what. It's simply, what do you have the power to do in your life? Do that. And I just think that that is so very important. It creates a whole different way of seeing the world and experiencing the world. And then the quote from Eartha Kitt: "I have used all the manure that has been thrown on me as fertilizer to make me stronger. I have used all the manure that has been thrown on me as fertilizer to make me stronger." Eartha Kitt was a truly, truly special woman because she had it rough. And I mean, this woman, what, Phoenix Rising? There is no Phoenix Rising like Eartha Kitt. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Minister Ocean Kimmy. Thank you, thank you, thank you so, so much. Yeah, stoicism is all right. Stoicism is all right. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is next week I am going to be better prepared because I wasn't quite sure like how should I do this, but next week I will do that in terms of like having a theme that we're going to focus on, and maybe one book. Maybe I won't look at them all. Um, but yeah, I'll be bringing it again next week. I want us to have more spiritual conversations. This is the last one that I'm going to pull. I was like, I'm going all the way feminine. This is the Lemurian deck. Lemuria is one of those cultures that they say is under the sea. And I see it as a feminine culture. Uh, Even though sometimes, it's kind of like right now, my spirituality, I'm like, I don't like too much conspiracy theory. I don't like stuff that is like, okay, it sounds good, but does it like what difference does it make in a person's life? Right. But today we're going to Lemuria. Let's see here. Let's just see what we get with this card. It's a beautiful card. It's a really, really beautiful card. It's called Radical Expansion. That's interesting, isn't it? Because we were talking about that. Are y'all ready for Mercury retrograde? And I only bring that up because it's in a sign that has to do with growth and expansion. So maybe this week it's going to be all about radical expansion. So here we go. This is called, oh, I'm on the wrong page. I mean, I'm on the badly wrong page. I'm like, why is this not matching? Here we go. Ooh, this is nice. I think it kind of speaks to what we've been talking about today. Living and loving at full capacity, being unapologetically you, self-expression. Okay. Boldness, having a voice, taking up space, expansion, empowerment, owning your true power, being visible in the world, having fun with your magnificence. Who is getting called out with all this? Who had me pull this card today? Somebody needs to show up, baby. Letting go of judgment. I'm going to say that one again for everybody who's judging yourselves for whatever reason. Letting go of judgment. Creative exploration. Radical ways of being. What would it be like to live, love, and feel at capacity? This card is about being truly and unapologetically you. The gifts you think are too bold for this world and those heartfelt experiences you believe you should hold back on might just light someone up. Whose toes am I on right now? I'm on somebody's toes. I feel it. I sense it. I know it. The physical self-expression that you dull down so you fit in, and those dreams that seem too vast could be precisely why the world is waiting for you. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel you have the right to take up space? Our auras can expand manifold, but we often choose to keep them tight to our bodies, maybe for safety. But what is this construct in which we have imprisoned ourselves? Where does this subtle or not so subtle shame come from? Why not dance our most beautiful dance, dress in a way that makes us feel magnificent, and sing so our voices are heard? Okay, we are really being called out right now. Considering the paradigm of our judgment in others can help us expand into authentic expression. We may not be aware of the thoughts that were imprinted in us from a young age through our parents, teachers, society, and media. Separation and limitation begin when your beliefs around what is acceptable and what is not. Connection and possibility come through owning your power and embracing your responsibility to be more visible in the world, to not shy away from life. Sheesh. So we got the nurturance card, which was like, hey, keep nurturing your manifestations. And now this one is like, boom, let's do it. It's time for radical ways of being and thinking, and you can start by granting yourself the freedom and creativity to be you. Pluto moved into Aquarius yesterday. Aquarius is all about, baby, I can't be nobody but me. All right. Having a voice is essential for power to shift back to individuals and communities outside of prescribed normalcy. It is time to unleash your inner rainbow dragon and unapologetically claim your heart based empowerment and radiantly unconventional gifts and to have fun with it. I would say a lot of us here have unconventional gifts. It's time. I remember in 2020 when I really started going live a lot, I was like, y'all, we need us more than ever. And here we are back at that reminder because it never went away. We're just getting a reminder. So, guess what, goddesses? It's time for expansion. You can be as big as your energy wants to be. Stop and consider anything that's holding you back. This card is the permission slip that allows you to let go of limiting stories and take up all the space you need. Woo! Have fun unleashing who you are. As bold and radical as some of your idea offerings might be, who is to say they are not what the world is waiting for, what the world needs? So just take note of any judgment of your authentic expression, not only towards you, but also to yourself, to others. Be mindful that creatively exploring unrefined expression may be what is needed right now. I'm going to say that again. Be mindful that creatively exploring unrefined expression may be what is needed right now. So I'm wondering, what have you not been expressing, especially, in terms of your gifts and your talents or your creative way of expressing yourself? And when you start doing that, that's going to help with the space, the quantum field. Going to TJ, let's talk about the quantum field. You want to impact the quantum field, then it's time for you to get out and express yourself in your own unique way. Remember to center yourself in your heart and be the masterpiece your soul always wanted you to be. What does it mean to be a masterpiece? I would love to hear from y'all about that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Hmm. Lots of water energy today. Let it flow, let it flow. Yes. Yes. Wow. So I'm gonna put this back up just real quick. Rainbow dragon. Woo. I Lemuria, we knew to go there, didn't we, Azizi? Lemuria came through for me today. Lemuria came through for me today. I'm good with Lemuria. You see, I only needed one card. That's why I was like, let me just check and triple check. Whoo, I feel better. Okay. I think what I'll do is pull up just really quickly. I got so many people asking me, people sent me messages, what does it mean that Pluto is in Aquarius? Well, this is the third time Pluto has been in Aquarius. So, uh, where it is right now is a place that we saw back in March of 2022. So you may want to go back to March. I get so confused. I'm saying March 2022, and then I'm like, but didn't I? Let's just look real quickly, y'all. Yeah, it was March. Wait a minute. 2023, Pluto, 2022. I thought it was March. March 2020. No, it was 2023. I've been using the wrong date. So I went there March of 2022. I mean 2023. I know y'all like, Tyra, get it together. So you can see here in March of 2023, March 24th, 2023, Pluto went into Aquarius. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's right here. Pluto went into Aquarius, and I think it went to just was on that 0 degree, and that was until June, and then it went back into Capricorn. Okay. So that was the first time we experienced Pluto on the 0 degree. And then I think it was December of that year. Let's see here, November. Oh, okay. 2024. It was January then. So January 21st of this year, Pluto was back on that 0 degree, and it was there at the exact same time as the sun. Okay. So we've already experienced Pluto within the first 2 degrees, because all this year it went forward until it got to the 2nd degree, when it started moving backwards. You see right here, it started moving backwards. So we've already experienced Pluto uh in Aquarius. This is the third time Pluto has gone into Aquarius, and it's on that 0 degree, 0, 1, 2. So it's something familiar that we'll feel. And the other thing I want y'all to know about Pluto is um it really has a lot to do with society. The changes that we feel from Pluto, they will happen on the inside of us. So it's like more than likely the house that Pluto is in for you right now, that house is it's gonna create some internal shift or change for you. Okay. And Pluto wants to transform. It is the Phoenix rising. So it's like you'll start feeling this shift, but a lot of it is internal for us. A lot of it is like in the psyche. You could see Pluto to a certain degree as this deeply healing energy. It's kind of like the energy of the goddess Oya, or the crone goddess. We could even think about Pele, Kalima, these goddesses that are very powerful warriors, almost like they have this destructive energy about them. But let me tell y'all something I learned down when I was down in Hawaii. This is the power of this type of goddess. So we went to the Big Island of Hawaii for a 24-hour. Well, no, it was 3 days. I think I was there. And the first thing, anyone who's been to Hawaii, I would love to hear from you to see if you saw this. Well, you can't miss it on the Big Island. Other islands may not look like this. I know Kauai and I know Hawaii. On that Big Island, when I first got there, it was like it looked like tar was everywhere. It's just all this black. It just kind of looked like a buildup of dirt, like people dug up the street. And it's just crumbly, just kind of like everywhere. Some of it actually did look kind of smooth, and I was like, it's tar everywhere. And the Uber driver was like, that's not tar, that's lava. So we did this tour of the island and found out anything can grow out of that lava. The people, like, maybe we were at a farm or something like that. They would say, "Look at the tree," and a tree literally is growing out of lava. That is how powerful a planet like Pluto can be. Out of the destruction comes powerful life. I mean, they grow coffee beans and macadamia nuts, and I mean, the nature there is incredible. Plants from all around the world have come there. People from all around the world have come, and so a lot of the natural Hawaiian plants are gone, but plants from different cultures are there. I mean, they were like, this one's from that country and that country and this country, and it's everywhere growing out of that lava. That is Pluto. So it is like, how can you compost what has happened, or whatever it is that's happening, this shift, this change that's happening. It's going to take you to paradise. That is what Hawaii is, baby. Paradise. So that is how we want to really be looking at Pluto. Now, the other way we want to look at Pluto is how it is going to manifest in society. First of all, it's in a social sign. Aquarius is social. And so it's like the rebirth of society, except for it's on the world level. I listen to an astrologer because right now I'm just having to listen to the astrologers who have more experience than me. And what he said was, say, for instance, when Pluto went into Libra, we all said this was going to happen. Or when Uranus said it was going to go into this, or well, he talked about Pluto into Scorpio. We said this. Pluto into Sagittarius. We said that. And not their predictions did not happen. Um, Something happened, but it wasn't what all the astrologers predicted. So I'm just kind of like, it's Aquarius. Aquarius is like, baby, unpredictable, very unpredictable. And I think that's why we're seeing the readings that we're seeing. It's like, no, you need to keep dreaming. You need to keep believing. You need to keep working on bringing your gifts and your talents into the world, because you were born to bring them for this time. And so we don't actually really know anything about what's going to happen. But what I will say is Pluto brings massive change. I think that one thing I feel pretty confident about is the collective consciousness is what is up for shifting. And it all depends on what we do as a collective. And again, maybe that's why there's so many messages of, you have got to stay true to your mission, your gifts, your talents, why you were born. You have to stay true, because the world actually needs that right now. Even where for some of us it feels uncertain. As I got to get the Odu that where it says it, when you feel like, oh yeah, when you feel like your environment has betrayed you, you must remain true to your form. I'm gonna pull up. Tell myself I can quote it, but I don't all the time remember the name of the Odu. So that is how I see Pluto going into Aquarius. And yeah, I've gotten so many people writing me about that, and I'm just like, y'all, we've been here already. This is not actually super new, but we are revisiting something right now. We are definitely uh it will soon. I should know that. It will soon. When you feel like things are not going your way, you may even feel people or your environment are betraying you. You have to remain true to form. Be your true self. All right. Let's see here. What else do I want to share with you all? I think that's it. I think I'm just going to go on ahead and pull I want to do a affirmation, and then I'll turn on a little music. Oh my God. Here's your affirmation for today. I am transforming. I have the power to change, learn, and grow. Some of this is for me. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know if it matters. And it's like, oh, the oracles are just wow, confirming and affirming everything. So thank y'all so much for being here. Greetings, Felicia. How are you, big sis? Glad you are here. So yeah, thank y'all so much for being here, and I appreciate you all. And again, I invite you to join me inside the Soul Alchemy Circle, where I again am going to be sharing astrology and just some other spiritual tools, maybe some talks. Maybe I'll let y'all know as I put them in there. That way, you'll know if you want to join or not. Um, but it's really all about, we've been talking about that spiritual practice and having that support and not being alone. That's what it's really about. So I invite you to join me. The link is in the description box. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here, Zizi. Everybody, thank you so much. I Transform has been my daily mantra while working with Oya right now. I bet. I I bet that is your mantra if you're working with Oya. All righty, y'all. So let's I've been having problems finding songs that I really like. I have to find music. Well, you know what? I like the belly dance. Thank y'all so much for being here. Remember what we talked about today. All right. All right. I love y'all. Let's have a little fun. Something that I'm like, give me some music. Self-expression. Let's do it. Let's time to have fun. Woo-hoo. Love, love, love it. I like my little hat. I mean, my little hoodie. Dance with me. Are you shaking your hips, Ocean Kimmy? Come on, y'all. Let's have a good time. All righty, y'all. Don't forget to dance. Don't forget to smile. Don't forget to love yourself. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get off. Love y'all. Thank you.